Brad, it's so great to have you back. We've enjoyed seeing you already this season, but I'm sure you're fired up for what's coming up this weekend in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, Roger. I hope we have something like last year. That would give the fans a treat. I don't really think that's going to happen, but if it's anything like a year ago in Knoxville, we'll have our hands full. Should be an exciting game. The fact that they've only lost one game each, I think it sets up for a pretty good matchup.
It certainly does, and of course, you got to see the Crimson Tide a couple of weeks ago in College Station against Texas A&M. What impressed you most about that Alabama team on that Saturday when they ended up getting a 6-point win?
I think probably their defense has come a long ways. I think the offense might be a work in progress all year long, really, the way they're playing right now. But I don't think that they care about that so much. I think the fans do. They want the kind of scoring that they've had over the years with all the great quarterbacks and all the great wide receivers, and that's not happening right now. But the fact that the defense has been improving at the rate that they have and getting to the quarterback, winning close games, you look back years from now and you're going to go, yeah, they won that many games and nobody cares how you won them, but I know that's something that fans look at. And, living in Georgia, I get the same thing here all the time about Georgia's offense, that it isn't good enough or they don't win by enough, whatever the case might be. But hey, 6-1 and 4-0 in the conference, that's good enough for me when I'm doing an Alabama game. So I'm happy they're at that point.
Absolutely. And for this Crimson Tide offense, Jalen Milroe, a quarterback, how have you seen him grow as the season's gone along, especially that Texas A&M game? Isaiah Bond, Jermaine Burton really stepped up in the receiving corps.
Yeah. I think the fact that he's thrown it so well down the field, I mean, it's like night and day difference, if you ask me, when he's trying to throw intermediate routes and short passes and swing passes and that type of thing. It's just not really there. But when he gets it down the field, he throws it as well as anybody in the country, really. So I think just inconsistency in those areas. But yeah, he had a great game, went over 300 in that one. And Jermaine Burton had his coming out party. So if they keep playing like that, I don't know if they can against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is similar to A&M's. So if they had the same kind of success, we'll have to wait and see. But I just think they're getting a little bit better every week on offense. They're just not where they want to be yet.
No better preparation for Alabama against Tennessee than seeing the Tide 2 weeks ago. And then last week, you got to be in Knoxville for Texas A&M against Tennessee. What'd you learn about Josh Heupel's team getting ready to call that game?
That their defense is better than I thought they were, and that their offense isn't as good as I thought they were. They really struggled with the passing game last week. I really like their ground game. They got 3 tailbacks in Jalen Wright and Jabari Small and Dylan Sampson, and they wouldn't have won that game if they didn't have a ground game that can rush for over 200 yards a game. When they do that, they're pretty dangerous, but they're not the offense that we saw last year against Alabama. It's not even close. Hendon Hooker had so much success a year ago with the way they played and the speed they played with. They're not as fast as they were. They don't run as many plays. It's not just because the timing of the games has changed. They just don't get that many plays off. Joe Milton has struggled at times, with the offense, I think. And he's a little bit like Jalen, I mean, he's got the big arm, but he's got to know where he's going with it. And so they have not moved the ball down the field that well. All of their stuff has been sort of sideline to sideline and crossing routes. And, they don't have Jalen Hyatt, and they don't have Cedric Tillman, and they don't have Brew McCoy. And so I get that. And their offensive line wasn't as good as it was a year ago. So their passing game's not going to be as prolific as it was last season. But they got to be better than they were last week, or they're not going to have a prayer at Tuscaloosa.
Well, of course, last year wasn't the ending that Alabama fans wanted in Knoxville. A thrilling finish as Tennessee got the win, ending the Crimson Tide's long winning streak. I know you're probably like Coach Saban, you hate ranking things, but was that one of the most memorable games you've called, especially in an Alabama versus Tennessee matchup?
Yeah, that's probably the best Alabama-Tennessee game I've called. The only thing I can compare it to is maybe some of the SEC championship games, the LSU-Alabama game, the year that it was Joe Burrow and Tua. There was a few along the way that were like that, but to go down to the last play with that many people, just dying to light up a cigar, it was pretty incredible, pretty noisy, pretty incredible. I'd love to have another finish like that because you don't get that many gifts every year. If you get one, you're lucky. If you get one every 10 years, probably like that one, you're lucky. So um, I'd take that any day of the week. Those kind of games are easy to do. It's the blowouts and the bad games that are a little more difficult.
Absolutely. Well, we're getting set for Alabama against Tennessee, and this will be the final time that this game is shown on CBS with the current arrangement. CBS, the SEC games starting to move to ABC and ESPN starting next year in the prime window. Just how much are you enjoying this last tour around the SEC? You and Gary Danielson, Jenny Dell getting call games at these stadiums one last time.
Yeah, trying to soak it up, Roger. It's there's a lot of things I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss the Vol Navy, and I'm going to miss Sweet Home Alabama. Played 15 minutes before kickoff, and I'm going to miss, War Eagle flying down at the beginning before the coin toss, and LSU at night. The square in Ole Miss. I can go on and on. There's a lot of different things about a lot of different cities I'm going to miss, but so with that in mind, I guess I'm just soaking it all in. I'm assuming that I'm going to be back in Tuscaloosa one more time after this Tennessee game. And so going to enjoy every minute of my friends in Alabama, and hope that we have the kind of games that we've had in the past.
Well, you do a terrific job, you and your entire crew. We just thank you for all the great years of broadcasting SEC football on CBS, and we look forward to making some more memories coming up this season. But Brad Nessler, always appreciate your time here with us on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Have a great call on Saturday, and thank you for your time.
You got it, my friend. I'll see you this weekend.